You're considering hiring me as your coach, but you're not sure what to expect. Let's be real, it's an investment. I'm laying it all out. My approach, my style, and the specific results you can expect when we work together. I'm here to show you exactly what your journey looks like from our first conversation to your biggest breakthroughs. And I'll share 3 ways for you to identify that you're ready for coaching, not just with me, but with any coach. Here we go. Okay, I am sharing the video. This is voiceover Nubia because I recorded this already and I don't know where the audio went. So we are at my website. This is showing you how to select the offer from the services that I offer on my website, beyondthesunconsulting.me. Under each service, there's a description of what's offered in detail. And once you select that, we go to see the further description and the rate for that service. We describe what you'll get, how we'll work together. And there is an opportunity to, well, it's a required field that will need your full birth date. I will need your full birth date when you sign up for service. And again, I'm highlighting the description, what I offer, and here is where you will be asked to complete your intake form. So after you select that link, remember to complete your intake form. Then I'm taking you to a mock-up of the intake form. Here's what the form would look like if you were on a mobile device, such as your phone. And here we describe all the personal information that you would need to enter into each field. The fields with a red star or an asterisk are required. And we're describing here, based on the wheel image, which of the 12 areas of life would you like immediate help with? Provide the corresponding number in your reply and explain. So here is the empty box with the empty field that you could enter your description and the corresponding image asking you to select the number. So here's what the form looks like on a larger view, because that form was on a mobile device. This is just showing, here's what it looks like larger so you can actually see what you'll be entering. So here's a corresponding wheel asking you to enter a number and a description. Each of the 12 areas of life are listed on this wheel, and you would choose one. You would choose, for example, number 9, I want help with my higher learning or spirituality. Number 11, I want help with friendships or groups. Number 4, I want help with home and family. Number 3, I want help with communication. And that's what you would enter the corresponding number and a description of why you would like to work with me, what service you need, well, you're getting coaching, but what area of life you would like coaching with. For example, for me, I chose number 6. I want help with my day-to-day work life. That is what I want to help with when I was choosing a career for the first time. What could I do in my day-to-day life? What kind of work could I do every day? How could I improve that area of life? And so here I am entering a description example. This is something that you would do when you complete your intake form. So here's an example. 6, I want to have a career that pays well where I don't have to work hard. On to my style. After you complete your intake form and I receive that, I think it's important that you understand my style and the approach. I am a person who is obsessed with pushing the boundaries, our own limiting beliefs. Is something that I deal with myself. And this is how you know that you're doing work you love. Because as a coach, as a guide, I wouldn't ask you to do something that, first of all, you signed up for help. I am not a therapist, but I am a professional cheerleader in that I will invest the resources and the time and the energy necessary to be with you and walk alongside you as you undergo your transformation. And it's probably at this point that it's important that I share the 3 ways that you know you're ready for coaching. Number 1, it's important that you be coachable. As someone who has invested so much in myself, I have gone the DIY route. I have experienced one-on-one coaching. I have experienced group coaching. Be coachable is the number 1 piece of advice because you know that you're ready. You're aware that you have a blind spot, and being coachable means that you are going to be open to at least listening to and hearing and receiving the recommendations that I offer to help assist you in your transformation. So that you're open, you're receptive, not going to fight every step of the way because, as the saying goes, when you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. I use this framework, my GPS framework, I use it regularly and I invest in coaching regularly because I believe in continuous learning and continual improvement. So be coachable. Number 2, be collaborative. I have the tools, I have the experience to some extent of how I can approach your transformation, but know that I don't have all the answers, and this will be a collaborative. This will be the group project that you'll want to invest in. This will be the best group project that you know I will show up for. So I want you to show up for your group project that we're working on, we're collaborating on together. And then the underlying key that is supporting all of this is to believe. Believe that the transformation is possible. And coaching will help you solidify that belief, reinforce that belief to know that the transformation is possible for you. My personality as a coach is I am a thermostat, but I'm also a thermometer. So if I sense that there's something that you are not willing to do, I will ask. I am direct. I use direct questioning. I like to call a thing, and I will prepare you to say, this might be uncomfortable for you, but Here's something I noticed. I'm going to share that. As a Scorpio, it is important for me to get to the root of something and to uncover it and to expose the truth, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. The truth is what sets us free. And so during this transformative process, my style is to use what's on that intake form and apply my framework. We're going to get clear on what you want. And that's done through the intake form. We're going to prepare you for your transformation by gaining perspective. So after intake, we're going to look at your overall foundation. I'm going to look at the condition of your birth map and identify some common themes I may see. I'm going to point out an overview and overall assessment of who you are. What is your makeup at your core? That's going to be the first session after you complete your intake form. We will then look at the area where you want to focus, and I will review the transits that are currently taking place. That's going to be in the second coaching session. We'll look at the transits. We'll say, okay, well, here's what's happening in that area of life for you right now. And then we'll look to see if there is any way that we can get you positioned for the transformation that you want to take. And if I said if, forgive me, what I mean is we're going to see how we can position you for the transformation that you're going to take. For example, I'll just go with the example that I used for myself, and that was I wanted a career. But where was I? I was, at the time that I wanted this transformation, I was working in the local grocery store after quitting school for the final time. I was working in that grocery store part-time so that I could go to school and pay my rent. So we're going to look at where you are, look at the transits, and craft a plan for you to say, what would be my next best step to take to get this job? For me, I said, I want a job in tech. I looked at the areas that dealt with work, and I looked at a number of different areas on the zodiacal wheel to correlate what am I good at? What energy could I use? And for me, I won't go into detail about me because we want this to be about you. But I look at the house associated with work, and then I look at the elements incorporated with that to say, how can we synergize these elements, work together, create a plan, and then work backwards? The third session, we will identify any challenges that you might be experiencing with regard to a timeline, crafting a timeline perhaps, or if your challenge is, we'll assess the challenge and we'll work together to identify them and resolve them. And throughout each session, you'll get a summary of what we discussed so that you have your action items, and we'll highlight your wins because I am big on highlighting wins. I believe in celebrating every win. Now, I incorporate my corny humor along the way, and I can be silly. So be prepared to work with some silliness. I will try to bring some levity and have this transformation be something that you look forward to, something that is infused with hope, and something that you enjoy working. And I will cheer you along the entire way. So that was a third session. We will review and identify any challenges and potential solutions. On the fourth coaching session, we will identify the path forward. What are your next steps? So for me, my next steps were getting into a training or a coaching program that showed me how to use my current skills to gain entry into the fintech field without having to go back to school. I saw what my strengths were. You know what your strengths are, but I'll be able to highlight them and help you help reinforce your intuition. And this astrology thing is not mainstream anyway, or it's not the norm. So it's okay that we will think outside the box to craft a way forward for you. I did that for myself. I couldn't even color inside the lines when I was a kid, so that should be indicative of something. I'm a bit rebellious by nature. So those are the expectations that I laid out for you to understand what value you'll be getting with working together through coaching. I may recommend some astrocartography. That's my specialty, so I will more than likely incorporate that. For example, let's say the example was work. You wanted to focus on work and finding a career. Well, what if you weren't in a place that was conducive for that? We would craft a plan that may be unusual. It might involve working with another type of coach. It may involve you embracing the idea of relocating physically, or it may involve some ingenuity with presenting yourself to be hired if you're seeking a job by a company that was in the location you might not be able to move to, but you may be able to work with someone in that place. There's more than one way to butter bread, okay? There's more than one way to achieve your outcome. I'm living proof. I wanted a high-paying career that I could feel confident about, proud of, and that didn't require me working hard. I thought it was veterinary medicine. I would have been working day and night in veterinary medicine. And I achieved what I wanted. So the value of coaching is that you're working with someone to get to your destination in a way that is well-rounded. And it may get you there faster, and it may simply get you there in the most direct route. It may not necessarily be faster, but it may be the most direct route with the least amount of bumps and bruises. And we're using this roadmap analogy. The GPS is going to take you the most direct route. So that's what you can expect when working with me. We will have 4 coaching sessions. I will cheer you on. I will work collaboratively with you to ask great questions, and I'll be focused on supporting you. There you have it. Now the next thing to do is go to the website and sign up. I'll see you there.